Hello everyone, Jester Bell is back, and we unfortunately have a lot of bad news for superhero films. I've been saying that I'm really tired of them, even though I'm a major fan. I've been telling you guys how Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was really horrible, and this week it's just kind of been piece of news after piece of news after piece of news of just horrible things for superhero films. It seems like everything is collapsing in on itself, unfortunately. So let's get to the news that's been coming out and just explain to you guys why everything seems to just be imploding for superhero films. So the first piece of information we got is that Shazam 2, The Fury of the Gods, is going to bomb. That I think Hollywood Reporter broke out this story that it's like going to open at 35 million, or maybe even at the very highest projection 50 million or something like that. That would make the movie bomb. That would be worse than the first movie, which just barely was able to break even, and that movie came out in between Captain Marvel and Avengers Endgame. And it just really seems that WB has given up on this film because, in addition to that, one of the actresses from the movie came out and said, "Don't ask me what the plot of the movie is, it's too convoluted." She and another actress were complaining about how the costumes were really terrible that they had to wear. So they were just really bashing their own film. And it tells me that Marvel, and I'm sorry, not Marvel, but WB and DC really just don't care about this film, that they've just written it off. They don't even care about really marketing it. And with all this, I decided I was originally going to go see this movie because I enjoyed the first one. And I thought, just finish it out. Just finish it out and see where it goes. I am not going to see it now. Because first of all, wasted money on Black Adam, wasted money on Quantumania, not going to waste my money on another movie, especially when the studio itself doesn't seem to care about it. And of course, what's also adding up to this movie having no interest in it is DC's plans to completely reboot. And I think the general disillusionment with superhero content because it just hasn't been good. But Shazam, Fury of the Gods is pretty much DOA. So, but then we got even worse news for DC, and this reveal came out from a leaker who said that Aquaman 2 has been testing horribly, and it spiraled out from there so that other leakers and even former journalists for big things like The Wrap were confirming the news that Aquaman 2 has horrible test screenings. And let me explain to you exactly all the news that came out and what it all adds up to. So apparently Aquaman 2, a while back, they did test screenings for the first cut of the film, and they were really, really terrible. So WB decided to put the movie on hold, move up its release date, and or I should say push back its release date and conduct some reshoots in order to try to fix the film. And apparently this is also why they decided to make The Flash come out. Because from everything I've been hearing, WB legitimately has faith in The Flash as a movie of quality. And they did not want to have multiple bombs in a row. They wanted to have at least one quality film out there in the summer. They didn't want Aquaman 2 to come out before. And so, but Aquaman 2 completed its reshoots, and now they did other test screenings. And from what I'm hearing, these test screenings were even worse than the first test screenings of Aquaman 2, which were negative. And what they're saying is what happened in these test screenings is something that never happens, and that people actually walked out of a test screening for Aquaman 2 because it was so bad, with some people calling it, quote, the worst DCEU movie, which is a very, very low bar indeed to try to pass with some of the DCEU movies that have come out. So apparently, and this is the really interesting news, is that the reason why we were hearing that maybe Jason Momoa would be playing Lobo is that he knows that Aquaman 2 is bad, and the studio knows it. They know that it's going to be an absolute disaster coming out. And so their plan was to move Jason Momoa away to give him a different character because he's still a big talent, but Aquaman is clearly going to implode in on itself. And with that, I think that this is going to move them further to completely rebooting. I think that they're just going to sort of keeping the door open, being like, oh, anyone can come over to the new universe because they just want to see if they can squeeze any kind of profitability about these last movies. But Aquaman was the last thing that DC had that was still successful in that universe financially, and now that's imploded as well. It's just crazy. But, oh my goodness, there's even more bad news for superhero movies. Today, we hear that Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania has had the lowest drop of any Marvel movie, 72%. This movie could absolutely bomb for Marvel at this point because they've ballooned so many of their budgets. And that, oh my goodness, it should be a real wake-up call for Marvel that they need to change what they've been doing and they need to stop production of these films because they're just coming out so badly. And so it just looks really bad for all things superhero right now. It's like they're just bad quality movies. They're not working out. And the studios, I think, are really going to suffer. And I always hope that they get better and that they start turning out better stuff. But at this point, it's like, yeah, I'm just kind of being pushed away from all this for now. Some things from the side I still like. And I'm still looking forward to the Batman 2 and stuff like that. But, I'm not going to see one of these DC films this year. I'm not going to see Shazam. I'm not going to see this Aquaman movie. And it's just like they need to learn their lesson, and they need to learn it hard. And I can't keep supporting these things. And I hope they do learn their lesson because they are about to take some pretty hard falls. But that's all I got for you guys today. And by the way, the DC slate apparently not in perfect. Apparently, it's not all going to happen yet. Creature Commandos is casting, I guess. But apparently, according to Casey Blows for HBO Max, that not everything is set in stone. They're just developing these projects. But they need to figure out what they want to be going forward. They need to market these things better because 2023 looks like both Marvel and DC are going to suffer like they haven't suffered before. And I honestly just want them to learn their lesson from all this stuff and, figure out what's a quality film again. They can't just keep relying on people buying into anything from Marvel and DC. But that's all I got for you guys today. Special thanks to patrons Vincent and Jay. If you want to support me on Patreon, then the link is in the description. And I will see you guys next time.